What's up, beautiful PHP people? How everyone is feeling today? Nice to see you all. Welcome back to another beautiful live stream. It's been a while, I know. I'm just being super busy at the minute. And, you know, the YouTube is like on fire at the minute. I'm publishing content almost every single day, actually, which is pretty good. How everyone is feeling, by the way. Nice to see you all. Agent, nice to see you. Peek and Flow, what's up, dude? Nice to see you, man. Steven, what's up? Nice to see you all. You guys are just so great to coming every single time. Ba-da-boo, ba-ba-boo, ba-ba-boom. Yulson, how you doing? Nice to see you. Agent, thank you so much for the Prime once again, dude. You are just so awesome, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. 12 months, dude. You're so awesome. Thomas, how you doing? Nice to see you. Okay, what I do want to do here, I want to make sure the music is okay. Can you guys hear any music? Nice to see you, Toma. Agent, I really appreciate the sub, man. You awesome, by the way. You awesome. And of course, my LinkedIn stream is not working, but I guess it's okay. Who cares about LinkedIn anyways? Oh, music is good. Nice, nice, nice. More supply chains. Well, there is so much. We have so much to talk about today, chat. Like, honestly, it's been like 3 weeks of pure chaos. So today we are going to speak about a lot of stuff. What's happening, what's not happening, and you know what Laravel, what Composer, what like the ecosystem is doing to kind of prevent a massive disaster. Domino Stars, how you doing, dude? I've been watching you. You are open. You are super active on open source. That's so awesome, dude. That's so awesome. Chat, let me know if the music is okay for you all, if it's too high or too low, or if it's just perfect. Let me know, okay? Okay. All right, chat. We are going to start with a few things we need to speak about, okay? I want to kind of open this. Should we start with my Twitter account? I guess. Yeah, we can start with my Twitter account. Yeah, let's start with my Twitter account. Chat, you guys probably have seen a bunch of new YouTube videos pretty much every single day, which is pretty cool. Like, I am actually keeping a very nice pace of videos every single day. The videos are like short, as you guys love it. And we have been talking about the various things, ideally stuff which is like super recent. So, for example, how people code with AI or composer security updates. So I've been talking about a lot of very important and modern topics, which is I'm very happy about, and I can immediately see that on views, which is awesome. Okay. Funny enough, the kind of topics that I also love to speak about, for example, testing and shit, nobody cares about, but the other topics about AI and about AI vibe coding and everything, people love those kind of topics, which is awesome. Also, you guys love security, which is awesome as well. And I think it's important, okay? Talking about security, does any of you have tried Laravel Mode? Write on the chat yes if you have tried Laravel Mode, which is literally something I have worked on with the Laravel team to kind of review your GitHub organizations, okay? So, Agent, let me know, how much did you have in terms of percentage in your own organization? Just be honest, okay? You can be honest. Laravel Mode. Oh, yeah, dude. Laravel Mode for the win. Oh, this is the video on Instagram. Do you have a video on Twitter? I think I do. Where do I have that? Oh my god, my hotel in Japan, that was so good. Me and Vlad going to the doing some party, that was so awesome as well. Alright, here we go. Laravel Mode. Let me just turn off the music here real quick. Bam! What's up, everyone? Laravel Mode for the win. Music is fine, thank you. Priyapal, how you doing? What happened with Composer? Well, Composer literally shipped stuff to prevent supply chain attacks, which is awesome. We're going to talk about that today, and I'm going to interview the co-creator next week. Agent is saying the following would be super helpful to have a tool to set this stuff auto-magically. The thing about setting this stuff auto-magically is that it's not actually easy to determine how do you want those things, meaning that depend of the organization, you might want to configure those things differently. You know what I mean? So Laravel Mode is like tells you what you need to do, but then how you do it, you would just have to do it by yourself. It's only for GitHub, or it can be for local packages. What do you mean by local packages? This is just for GitHub, yeah. However, if you have a package in your own organization, Laravel Mode will equally work. Okay. So, couple things we need to speak about. We have actually a lot of stuff to talk about today, Shed. A lot of stuff, okay? So let's start with the beginning. So, did you guys saw the Symfony CVEs that got announced 2 weeks ago? That's how far we are at the minute. Okay, so Symfony literally reported that Cloud Mythos was able to detect 19 issues on the Symfony framework, and they literally patched those issues, those CVEs. Now, being really honest, I have read through all those CVEs, and what I have found is that some of those CVEs weren't actually like security concerns. You know what I mean? Obviously, some of them were, but like, you as a developer, you would have to put yourself at risk to kind of face those issues, okay? Like, one of them were, if you give raw access to Twig to your developer, to your clients can lead to exhaust your server. Now, this is obvious, like, even on Blade, if you give raw access to PHP code, people can write the for each loop that literally will never end, and that will basically exhaust your server. So I don't know. Some of those CVEs were actually, in my opinion, not security issues. But anyways, because we rely on Symfony, we literally just leveraged all of that. And I think like none of them were actually impacting Laravel. Only one, which is related to email, if I remember correctly. Boom, 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 boom. How Symfony get access to that model? So, from my understanding, they got reached out by Anthropic and all those models, you know. Dimino started saying the following: I love your style when you are not in the front of desk. What do you mean? What do you mean exactly? I love your style. We're not in the front of the desk. What do you mean? When I go outside of my normal desk? That's what you mean? Lol, for real, dude. I mean the video style. I love your video style when you are not in front of desk. I mean the video style. I'm so slow today. I'm still jet lagged, if I'm honest with you. I'm still super jet lagged from Japan. Oh, outdoor videos. I got you. Yeah, this is a Laravel t-shirt. Okay, what else we need to speak about? This is bullshit. My hotel in Japan, the PHP website. You know, a lot of people did agree with this video, by the way. You guys probably have seen this video about PHP website. A lot of people agree with the video, and I'm happy about that. The thumbnail is also badass, which is pretty cool. What else I have? Japan, there was 600 people watching my talk, which was awesome, honestly. 600 people watching my talk. That was badass, you know, that was cool. Moat was written on Rust. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but Moat is literally written on Rust, and that was a nice project to develop. Feels good to do Rust. Rust is awesome as a language, and I love it, especially for this kind of CLI tooling. I think it's just perfect. Agent is saying, since the years we have been talking about PHP missing a website or a fresh website. Yeah, I know. Hopefully Matt Stauffer will fix this. Dark from Master, hello from Thailand. How you doing, dude? Nice to see you all. Yeah, this is indeed a Laravel t-shirt. Let me move here this year. Here we go. Let's say thanks to our sponsor, chat. Code Rabbit, one of the best tools out there to review code through AI. They're absolutely awesome. Check them out. CodeRabbit.ai. Redberry International. I've been speaking a bunch with them. They're awesome. They are a digital agency that works with Vue, with Laravel. They're absolutely awesome and good. Check them out. JetBrains. By the way, I will be at PHPverse next year. Okay. Next week. PHPverse in Amsterdam. I will be there. I will be one of the hosts. Okay. We have amazing speakers, including Jeffrey Way, Fabian Putincier, and more. This will be cool. PHPverse for the win, chat. Next week. Okay. Be sure to register. By the way, we do have a video we need to record today about PHPverse, as they give me 3 things to raffle during this week. PHPverse next week. Boom, 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 boom. What else do I have here? SERP API, by the way. Check them out if you need the Google Search API as an API. Okay. It allows you to use Google through an API, which is absolutely awesome. SERPAPI.com. Bam, 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 bam. What else I have to say? Yeah, let's keep going. Talking about the news. W sponsors for real, dude. Hey, Bruno, how you doing, man? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. I am missing something. Oh, here we go. All right, let's keep going. So Moat is out. A successful release. Marketing-wise, I think it was really good. What else we have? Laravel Lang, the organization got hacked. I have made a video about that. And I have also on that video explained the only solution for supply chain attacks, in my opinion, which is developed multi-factor authentication into releases on packages. I'm still like confused why people are not implementing this like drastically. And let me try to explain to you, because I don't think like on the video or, you know, even outside of the video when I tweeted about this, I don't think people realize like how important this is, okay? So today I was like walking through the Laravel org and I noticed like, for example, something like the Laravel starter kit. Okay, let's talk about Laravel starter kit. Laravel starter kit React, for example, okay? So we have, let's say, about 300 PHP packages and about 400 JavaScript packages, okay? This is literally what a Laravel starter kit React has. It's enough that only one of these gets hacked. Like, let's say one JavaScript package gets hacked, and everyone who runs an npm update after this will get hacked. Okay? Now, when we talk about hacking, it's just not like a regular script or a backdoor or whatever. They literally steal your access, AWS keys, you know, serious stuff, crypto wallets and everything, okay? From one single npm update. Now, in my opinion, the only solution for this problem is developing the following: multi-factor authentication into packages plus npm. Now, one question you may have is the following: don't those two already have that? They do, but not to the release itself. So what I really want, and pay close attention and let me know in the chat by typing yes if you agree with me. What I really want is the following. Nuno is the maintainer of Laravel Pennant, for example. And I go to my console and I type something like this: git tag 1.0.2 or whatever, and I push it, okay? Now, when this happens, I will receive an email saying the following: you just tagged something on GitHub. Do you actually wish to release that on packages? Okay. And I'm going to say, yes, I do. Now, once I do this, I click on it. I will be redirected to packages, and packages will ask me, that's awesome. That's awesome. Do you want to release that? But now you need to introduce your two-factor authentication from your mobile device. Okay. And by doing this, the hacker, even if he hacks me and he can do this stuff, it will still need to hack my portable device, which is technically like impossible to hack both at the same time. You know what I mean? So I think this is the only solution for a disaster that will happen at some point. Let me know what you think. Write down the chat yes or no, or I don't know. But this is, in my opinion, the only solution. And I kind of wish they implemented this already. What is packages is, do you know when you type composer update? When you type composer update, it's literally what you are using behind the scenes. That's it. Okay? So next week, I'm gonna have a meeting, or actually we'll be in real life, but with the co-creator of Composer, and I'm gonna actually pitch this to him because I think like he needs to implement this stuff. That's what I think. Okay, let's see what the comment says about this, okay? Isn't packages now scanning for vulnerability before tagging a release? Well, they're using iKey though, but I mean, an hacker can find its own way around the thing to kind of trick Aikido that there's no vulnerability issue over there. You know what I mean? How do you add multi-factor authentication to that? So packages does not have that yet. It doesn't have this feature. I know that NPM is currently implementing it, but they need to force this stuff. This stuff needs to be like implemented ASAP, you know? This is too advanced for me. It's not advanced. It's just basically, you know, this is regular stuff. It's just I being super into it, so I kind of know what I'm saying. It can be a mobile push notification as well, indeed. Like, just confirm that from your mobile device and that's it. This is what I think we should implement this like ASAP. Like I honestly don't get why you are not doing this. Because just think a little bit. Every day we don't implement this measure. Every single day we don't implement this measure. Is one more day that one hacker can try to get into bank institutions, you know, into health institutions as well. Like once an hacker, or governments, you know what I mean? Like once an hacker can like get into this stuff, then a disaster will come. Making an opt-in, why this should be an opt-in? Like why it's not a requirement and that's it? For me, this should be a requirement, period. Like it needs to just be there automatically. It cannot be an opt-in. If it's an opt-in, agent, if it's an opt-in, only like 0.00001% of the packages will do it. That's it. Like, if they have multi-factor authentication required and just enabled, everyone will be forced to do it. It will be safe forever, literally. Maybe a transition phase, yeah, give people a week, but not more than that. Like every single time we are waiting, we are just basically, you know, open ourselves for just getting destroyed. Now, obviously, like we are doing stuff at Laravel to prevent this kind of scenarios, and you know, I think in general, packages is also doing stuff. But I just think like this is literally an emergency almost, you know.
Birthday chick, I'ma mess around by you a birthday whip. 2 times for the birthday chick, I'ma mess around by you some birthday gifts. It's your birthday. Happy birthday.
Agent is saying the following. Well, then who gets it for Laravel release? 1 person, 10 or 50? What do you mean exactly? What do you think about the patch solution for waiting 48 hours? I think that's just I don't think it's a good idea overall. Like, what you are talking about is the release, the release delay or whatever it's called. Like some packages, some repository managers are doing it. I don't think this fixes anything, literally. I think it might even be worse. Like, imagine the following. There is some hacker who tags a release. There's a release, okay. Nobody notices for 2 days. Then people type npm update. They will get this release. Somebody notices it instantly and does a patch, and then suddenly I have to wait 2 days for the patch. Like, it's a double-edged sword. It is just not a good idea. This release delay shit, it's just not perfect. AJ is saying, if you tag the release, who gets a notification? Well, ideally someone who have tagged it, you know what I mean? Chris is saying the following. Hey Nuno, I really like your idea of adding a verification to the release. Exactly, they will do it. Is npm audit and composer audit reliable? Yeah, well, it's not bad. Basically, you cannot get with composer audit. If you have like a malware in your vendor, it will prevent that malware from. You will know it by typing composer audit. Bruno is saying the following. So basically, if you have a 0 day, you are fucked and wait 2 days. Yeah, I guess. Mr. Puyapal is saying the following. Just release a GitHub. Changing their policy and it's consuming tokens at 10x speed. Oh, really? Yeah, audit checks your current composer.log. Correct. So I don't know, dudes. This situation is fucked up at the minute, and I don't know what the solution will be. Well, I do have the solution, but anyways. What else we have, chat? What else we have here? Laravel Live Japan, it was awesome. I just want to be back to Japan. What else we have? Moat was popular, man. A bunch of content out there about Moat. Yo. If you guys haven't watched this talk, by the way, this is one of my favorite talks ever, okay? So I'm gonna just give you the link. This stuff is top level content. Lucas is saying, just popping in to say hi. You are awesome, dude. Thanks for saying hi. I found a tool called it AUB from Mizzy Maker. What is AUB, dude? A fast Node.js package manager released 2 days ago. Never forget to install automatically when you run the script, ties security defaults in any Node.js package manager. Oh, nice. Faster than PNPM. 5 times faster than Bun. Those are already super fast, you know? Secure defaults. This is interesting though. Out of the box, exotic transitive dependencies are blocked. Lifecycle scripts wait for approval. Trust downgrades fail at resolve. Brand new releases sits on 24 hours cooldown window. One paranoid equals true adds the build jail and turns into soft gates into hard fails. This is actually interesting, by the way. Did you saw a lot of Mago? Yeah, I've seen that. I kind of need to give another try to Mago. Is anyone here in the chat using Mago for PHP? I kind of feel like the last time I give this a try, it was just not ready. But some people are saying that they are using it, and maybe like we need to give it another try. Let me just log into GitHub real quick. Mobile. I told you guys that I'm not jet lagged, but I'm still feeling it. Like I'm very slow. Okay, here you go. Does any of you already tried Mago or is using Mago? I kind of feel like the last time I've tried it, it was not ready, but it might be now. I think I need to give it another try. Not today though, I think. Mago is sponsored by JetBrains, so I believe it's a serious thing, but it's too early for production, I think. Brunotias is saying the following: these remind me of this package, a jail to prevent AI from accessing what it shouldn't. Well, something like, I've been thinking about this, and you guys let me know what you guys think. I probably should explore this a little bit. But in theory, like, if you run npm update or composer update through like some sort of Docker environment, correct me if I'm wrong, but are we not preventing, like, if let's assume he has a script, for example, within like a composer update or whatever, the fact that it's running through Docker, wouldn't that prevent like accessing my file system, for example? Or I am incorrect? Chat, let me know if the music is too loud, by the way. It must be too loud for you all, no? I'm gonna put here some hip-hop laid back. Oh, it's a sandbox wrapper for AI coding agents. Oh, okay. Agent is saying uses Mago for a side project. How's that is working out for you? Is it good? So we're closing this, we're closing this, we're closing this, we're closing this. Yep, this is also interesting to talk about, by the way. Open code. Oh, Acusito, thank you so much for premium sponsor on YouTube. I really appreciate that. I enjoyed the music, by the way. Oh, shit. It wasn't too loud, though. Like, it's crazy. Not perfect, yeah. I kind of suspected that. By the way, chat, don't forget, go all the way down, subscribe my channel, okay? And put like on this video as well. Even though like live streams won't be anymore available on YouTube. These are still available on Twitch and Kick and everything, but on YouTube they won't be available anymore. So Shat, I also discussed with Taylor Otwell. I wasn't surprised by his setup. I knew already he was using open code and that he was using Sublime Text and GitHub Desktop. It's kind of a little bit my setup at the minute as well. I use a lot Sublime Text, PHP Storm, Cloud Code CLI, and GitHub Desktop for reviewing, which is awesome. Chris is saying Docker makes it harder to access the file system, although it's not 100%. Can you elaborate on the 100%, please? Oh, I have tried Opus, and I must say the recent version is much more cheaper. I don't get why people were getting results where Opus 4.8 was more expensive. For me, it's just cheaper. Okay. Docker engine run as root. Okay, so that's the problem. Agent is saying Docker only have access to the store you mount. Exactly. That's my thinking as well. So might be potentially one of the things we need to enforce. You know what I mean? Opus 4.8 much cheaper, which is awesome. I did a video about this exactly. This is the video about Composer security updates, which is honestly like exciting what Composer is doing at the minute. Claude versus Codex. I love Claude. Angry Hippo is saying the following: Docker would prevent some file system access unless you are using mounted volumes, which I think some devs do since it's easier for them to restart Docker. But malware could probably target the Docker socket and start new containers with broader privileges. Oh. Uncle Povitas did a video about comparing the price per prompt on Claude. I also did one, by the way, which is this one. I have compared Claude Opus 4.8 with a regular prompt of building, regular migration, controller, XYZ, and it was cheaper in all cases. But also, like, during the week I've been using it, and it is indeed more cheap. Claude 4.8. I love it. What else I have here? Ooh, I have made a new video literally showing my workflow from plan mode, build mode, and everything. And it's just literally perfect, okay? If you haven't checked out this video, just check it out, okay? This is absolutely awesome. You guys don't want to miss any of my videos recently. Like, I've been putting my heart, my soul, everything I have into these recent videos. And I think, like, it's showing, I can see the numbers and they are showing. So, just super happy about my recent work on YouTube. Not an expert. Oh, dude, I'm also not expert on Docker, if I'm honest, so. Bruno is saying the following: do it on open code with Minimax M3, DeepSeek V4. Are you using like cloud for those models, or you are running anything locally? I've been using a little bit Olama locally with open code. And it kind of does the job a little bit. It's not as smart as Cloud Code, but for some simple stuff, sometimes you don't have internet connection. It just, it's enough. Local models are actually super powerful. Some of them. Do more outdoor videos, Nuno. I don't, dude. Outdoor videos are complicated to do. Like, I have done one outdoor video here. I think this one, for example, it has 6.6K views, and for example. This one is indoors 6.8. This one is indoors 13. This one is indoors 6.8 as well. This one is indoors 9.9. So it doesn't actually change anything. I think, like, overall, videos, if they have quality, if they are big enough, they will get promoted by YouTube, and that's it. That's the only thing that matters. Good afternoon. How you doing, dude? Welcome to my live stream today. The music is on fire. I love it. All right, what else we have? Laracon AU is out. which is awesome. Laravel POW just recently got Rector PHP support, so I've done that yesterday, which is good. And I think we're done here with Twitter, I think. Oh, yeah, we are not done. So Laravel Cloud just became more and more cheaper. Check that out, all right? WPOW, oh yeah, baby. Bruno is saying the following: I was using Cloud Code last year, then I tried open code with other stuff. I like the Linux philosophy, and at the end, what matters is the job gets done. Yeah, I think like if you're swapping between Cloud Code CLI and open code, you should just go with open code forever, because open code is fully open source. Open code supports multiple models, so eventually, like if you get sick of one model, you can just use another. I do think, genuinely, open code is much better option for everyone. Even though I still use Cloud Code just because Cloud Code is just so good right now. Yeah, meanwhile, all my organizations are with 95% of hardening on Laravel mode, by the way, okay? Which is very good. The only thing I'm not doing is requiring collaborator review, just because I'm a solo developing on PASS, so I cannot do anything. Oh my god, you guys want some drama? So I did this video about the pipe operator not actually being anything good for PHP, and people were like slamming me on the comments. So I don't know, maybe we want to talk a little bit about this. First of all, I want to clarify something, okay? I want to clarify something. Just in general, be mindful that I will change my opinion all the time. Okay? I'm going to just tell you up front, I may do this video today, and within 2 months from now, I'm going to make another video saying the pipe operator is awesome. It's likely to happen. Like, I change my opinion all the time. A lot of people, and this is actually something I would like you guys to reflect on. A lot of people sometimes, they like to be like, because they have an opinion, they like to stick with that opinion forever, just because it just looks good to the outside. Like, if I change my opinion, if I say that open code sucks and then it's good after a month, it's fine, you know. Sometimes I like to, you know, I'm okay with trying things, with playing with things, and then change my opinion. And I honestly don't care if people say something like, I think one of the first comments on this stuff, let me see. I was trying to avoid this video, but I just... Yeah, if I go all the way down, here we go. I remember your hype about the pipe operator, and how did you defend it? Saying, or meaning that now you are just trashing the pipe operator. Honestly, it's fine. I'm kind of okay with that, okay? I also never used the pipe operator. Exactly, nobody have used the pipe operator. Like, for me, it's just so obvious, like, you know, this was a feature that looked cool on paper, but like on practice, nobody actually needs it. And for me, like, seeing a huge pull request that adds a feature to the core and nobody is using that feature, it just shows a big problem on RFCs in general. And one of the things I was saying on that video was like, well, if the pipe operator gets merged and nobody is using it, it just shows a big problem on the community feedback that the PHP internals are not getting, you know? Anyways, I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Sorry to hear that, man. No, I'm okay with it, you know. Oh, you mean... Wait. Abu Najjar is saying the following. I recently lost my job because the company went bankrupt. Partly due to advances on AI. Do you think there are opportunities for us as Laravel developers? Oh, no. I'm very sorry to hear that, dude. I'm very sorry to hear about that. You know, what's happening with AI in general, and I have shared my thoughts on this, is that AI is not actually replacing developers, but it's replacing some of the products. And, you know, some of the products were kind of giving money to those companies. And, you know, we see like AI replacing a lot of products. So Brent started an RFC platform. Dude, just go to GitHub, honestly. Okay, like, why are we not on GitHub? Like, if we click on, let's see, GitHub, Rust, RFC, you see, like, the Rust language, which is literally used now on Linux, the kernel, has its own RFC process on GitHub. Like, why are we not doing this? For me, it's just so obvious that we should go on GitHub, but... Chris is saying the following: the syntax is a little bit confusing with all those 3 dots. Plus that, yeah, the pipe operator is just confusing as fuck. And I think, like, on paper it looked good, but like once people actually start using it, they start realizing like it's just so much more simple not using it. And you know, and just by the way, I want to make this perfectly clear. This is not against anyone that have worked either on the RFC or have approved the RFC. It's just literally giving a critic, you know. Oh, this is like the oh, I'm curious to see, like, do we have here? Oh, we don't have. Okay, I was curious to see here the pipe operator votes though. Everyone's on generics. Can I vote yes? How does it work? Oh, there is literally comments and shit. Nice, good stuff. Looks good, but it's not readable. Yeah, it looked good on paper, indeed. Angry Epo is saying the following: the thing that upset me about that video was nothing to do with the pipe operator, but that I just now learned that short closures were proposed and got rejected. Yeah, I mean, multi-line short closures, in my opinion, it's just, you know, it's such a simple pull request on top of it. And probably the reason why it got rejected is because it was so simple as a pull request, you know. It literally was 1 line. It's kind of insane. Okay, what else we have? We need to do some recording today, chat, by the way. I don't have a video for tomorrow, so just close this window. Here we go. Oh, that's it. We're done. We done. We can do a video for it tomorrow. Spasi made a package, call it pipes. What is that pipes about? I actually haven't seen that. Let's actually do a quick Google thing. Spasi pipes. Oh, pipes or piper? I think this is the one. Well, honestly, it does look a little bit better, but I kind of question. I don't know what you guys think. Like, honestly, let's just think a little bit, all right? Let's just think a little bit. I'm gonna just go here, chat, and you guys must agree with me a little bit. I'm not crazy, right? Like, what do you guys prefer? Do you guys prefer this? Or fucking this? I'm gonna actually continue. Replace. I don't know. Chat, for me, like this. Let's actually do a votation here, okay? All right, you have 2 solutions. Solution A and solution B. Type on the chat, what do you think? For me, it's just so obvious that the solution A, it's much more clear, but I don't know. Just type on the comments, what do you think? Solution A or solution B, chat? Everyone typing on the chat. Of course it's a solution A. Like, I don't know why are we pretending that we like this fucking thing when it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, of course it's a solution A. 1000% sure it's the solution A. So, you know, we can say whatever. Like, people can say, oh, but, you know, there is this language which is like Lisp or whatever, or Java streams or whatever, who have the pipe operator. I don't care, man. Like, honestly, for PHP, this stuff is just more readable. 100%, 1000% more readable. Maybe it's useful for something that does not have Laravel helpers. All right. So I'm gonna replace that shit with non-Laravel helpers. Okay, and then we talk about this. So non-Laravel helpers. Okay, this will be a string to lower, I guess. How is it called again? I literally forgot the function. Shit, what is that function on PHP that you can just lower stuff? String to lower, right? No? What the fuck? Oh yeah, string to lower. Here we go. All right, non-Laravel helpers. In my opinion, the solution A is still more clear. Non-Laravel helpers, here we go. Just plain not native raw PHP. And it's still, in my opinion, much more clear. Much more clear. The solution A. 50? What? 50 memberships. That's crazy, dude. You are absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for your support. Wow, my chat was not ready for this. Kusiko, I appreciate 50 memberships. You are just so awesome. You made my day. Thank you so much. That's crazy. That's probably the biggest membership we have received it yet. I didn't even know that YouTube have gifted memberships. I thought it was just Twitch, basically. Kusiko, the person who have gifted the membership, to saying the following. Hi Nuno, I just wanted to say thank you for all your hard work and dedication. Your videos have been incredibly helpful, and I truly appreciate everything you do. Thank you so much, dude. You made my day. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. That was awesome. It's kind of cool when you dedicate your career to open source, to Laravel and to PHP, and you read some of these messages. Honestly, it's pretty cool. I appreciate. So this is Spassy Piper, by the way, which indeed kind of makes things a little bit more simple. But in my opinion, like, you know, I still would go with the non-piping option, if I'm honest with you, okay? I would still go with the non-piping option for Laravel. I'm sorry. For Laravel or even non-Laravel examples. Bruno TX is saying the following. PHP should simply take inspiration from Laravel. You would find it amazing to be able to do something like number isn't. Well, you know, I'm not against actually some native types being implemented in PHP. I think though, I think it was Python did that. I don't want to lie, but I think Python at some point did that, and it was kind of confusing sometimes because some people were relying on like objects for strings and other people won't, and that can be also a little bit confusing. Ideally, I would love to have something like this. I'm going to be honest, like this. You know, so something that would be a native or a literal string, but at the same time would equally work when called it as an object. That would be awesome, but I don't think we have that. So kind of like Ruby, correct, a little bit like Ruby. I think that would be the ideal solution, but we don't have that. Okay, all right, so so this is done, which is good. This is equally done. Chat, I want to speak with you a little bit about topics. So today we need to do a PHP verse video. So I kind of want to make a video where I'm going to raffle an elephant, if I'm not mistaken. How people call PHP elephant mascot? Is that the thing? Yeah, mascot. Okay, so basically I have these three things of this to raffle, and I need to make a video. And I was thinking like asking for subscribing the channel, leave a comment below why you deserve it, and then the best comment gets a mascot. I think that's what I will do. Boop, 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 boop. That's exactly what I will do as a video, okay? Okay. Okay, I'm ready for this. My face is not super good today due to the jet lag, but I think it will do it. Okay, what do I need though? Yep, so that's one of the videos I need to do. I don't think I will do the mode one today, so if you guys have any topic you wish to see on my YouTube channel like tomorrow, this is the moment to request, okay? So literally write in the comments which topic you think is like modern, recent, and you would like to see on the channel as video for tomorrow. It could be a tool, it could be an RFC that it's not yet like covered on the YouTube. It could be anything really. Elephant is a mascot for PHP. Okay, all right. Let me see what I can do. Why I'm opening this? I don't want to open this. Here we go. So I also need to mention PHP Verse. They are literally the ones giving me that. So PHP Verse. Yep. All right. Happy Tuesday! What's up, dude? How you doing? You could review the Tempest framework. Ooh. Tempest framework. Yeah, that could be an idea, indeed. All right, let's do it. Let me just turn off the sound real quick. Here we go. What's up, everyone? PHP Verse is about to happen. Will be next week. What is today? June 9th. June 9th. Yep. What's up, everyone? PHP Verse is about to happen. Is happening. What's up, everyone? PHP Verse is happening on June 9th, already next week. And to celebrate that event, okay, that's one little part of the video. Bam. I want to raffle this beautiful PHP mascot. And to win it, the only thing you have to do is subscribe this channel right here, but also leave a comment below. Why do you think you... Leave a comment below. Why would you like to have it? Why would you like to win? Yeah. What do I have at the minute? 1 second. Leave a comment below. Why do you think you should be the one winning it? I'm going to raffle this by the end of the week. Love you all and catch you guys next time. Peace out. All right, this should be enough. Okay, what do I have here? Did you hit the record button? Yeah, so now I have a hotkey. Basically, like I have a hotkey, which is Command-Shift-2, where literally I can jump into a video real quick, to recording video real quick. Leave a comment, PHP is dead. Why would you do that? Why would you say that? Is all countries allow it? I think so, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna make another one, and then my brother can decide which one he should pick. What's up, everyone? PHP Verse is happening already on June 9th, is already around the corner. And to celebrate the event, I want to raffle a PHP mascot, the elephant, which is this one right here. If you want to win this elephant, the only thing you need to do is, first of all, subscribe to this channel, and then leave on the comments below something really funny about PHP. The best comment I'm going to see will win this elephant right here. Thank you all and see you guys next time. Peace out. All right. So I'm going to leave this too, and then my brother decides which one is the best one. PHP Verse Raf link. All right. Done. So this is done. Chat, we need the content. We need content for tomorrow. Okay. W brother. Oh yeah, baby. You will make the video. Well, I have recorded the video. Now my brother will edit the video, and then I'm gonna publish the video tomorrow. I think I'm gonna publish it on 3 socials. Like, we'll be on my Instagram, we'll be on my TikTok, and we'll be on YouTube. So I have 3 elephants literally to raffle, and I think like I'm gonna publish a video to each one of the socials, and then I'm gonna give one to the Instagram, another one to TikTok, and another one to YouTube. I think that's the plan. Pass dash dash Tia. Oh no, dude, that's secret, by the way. So keep that for you. Okay, that's mega secret content at the minute. So don't talk about that. It's a lot of Kanye West content. Okay. So chat, we need content for tomorrow. Okay, we need content for tomorrow. Nuno, transform it into energetic. Nuno, yeah. I'm super jet lagged though. Like I feel myself being slow today. Okay, chat, we need content for tomorrow. If we don't have content for tomorrow, we screwed. In-memory eloquent models and with truffle. Interesting. Parcel PDFs. What else we have here? What is this? Nothing good. W brother. Oh yeah, baby. Chat, if we don't have content for tomorrow, this is really problematic, okay? So if you guys have ideas of topics we would like to cover, let me know. Like, something we could do, though, is there is a new PHP RFC, which we could talk about. Let me see. The streams one. Well, there is this one, which is okay, and there is this one, which is the streams one. The pooling API. Although I did found that the RFC is kind of a little bit difficult to parse, you know, even for someone as me. So it might be a little bit difficult for me to parse this one. What is your opinion about microservices? I'm not a fan of microservices, dude. I think they just complicate things in general. I think it's one more thing that people found out that gives more work. Therefore, they can continue to work on the thing. But in general, it's just more complicated than a single monorepo. Just to give you the perspective, Google is literally a monorepo. Like, it's the biggest monorepo in the planet. Okay, we have this one, but this one must be super small, right? And got declined already, so... Yep, pretty much no all the time. Holy shit, that's a very verbose no. Array path get. Yeah, Cosito is awesome, dude. Oh, we have the true async. We could talk about this one. Which is on draft, though. I'm wondering, though, like, in terms of actually affecting PHP developers, how exactly this would affect them. Because this kind of stuff, we can already do it with PHP. Well, not natively, but we can do it already. Zoa, really? What are you talking about? The fuck? My Twitch chat is like broken. Okay, this is literally broken. Can I refresh this? Oh, that was the top chat. All right, let's see. Mohammed is saying the following: with all the buzz around AI tools like Cursor and Copilot, how do you feel it's actually impacting Laravel developers' jobs right now? So that's what I've been telling people. Like, I do think there is an impact in terms of products are being replaced, not developers, products, meaning that AI it can effectively replace successful products because people don't need. I'm going to give you an example. Previously you would have to, go to Stack Overflow every single time you had a developer question. Now AI can literally give you developer answers. So Stack Overflow became useful. Therefore, there is layoffs over there, and eventually people will get fired. Although I don't think it's coming for developers themselves, you know what I mean? Bruno is saying the following: for enterprise, most corporate have a team for front end and a team of back end developer with Laravel. Any tool close to Inertia.js that does so we don't rely on API. I think like you can have a front end team and a back end team working little in the same monorepo, and that's still okay, Like, I don't think having two different teams is an excuse to separate in different repos, front end and back end, That's what I think, though. All right, chat. Music on. And should we cover the truest sync chat? What do you guys think? Can close this one. The thing about TrueSync is that it's one of those RFCs that eventually, if this gets merged, only libraries like React, PHP, and everything will eventually be using it, and nobody else will care, basically. Like, if I go here, do I see Hemp PHP? Exactly. I see Swole, React PHP. Yeah, Stack Overflow, it's kind of dead. If it's not super dead. See Films, how you doing? Nice to see you, man. How you doing? Welcome to the live stream today. We are about to discover the topic to cover for my video tomorrow. But yeah, I was trying to avoid talking about this TrueSync situation. It's just so complicated to explain on top of it. What else we have? Partial function applications, which we talked about. Display function arguments and errors. This is a small one. Closure optimizations. I already checked that one. The sort direction, which nobody cares about. This is one of those features that I don't know why the fuck this got merged. Like, honestly, like an enum, like a native enum got merged into PHP. Like, why would this ever be merged into PHP? I don't get it. This is literally application code, like, cert enum is something that should live at the application level, period. Because people make dumb decisions. Well, that's one of them for sure. Inertia gold standard for JavaScript front end with Laravel. I agree. Inertia is dope. I love Inertia. Inertia is absolutely dope. Vanilla PHP or framework and libraries? I don't think you should use vanilla PHP for anything, really. Just like you wouldn't use JavaScript, vanilla JavaScript, you would rely on UI libraries or UI frameworks. Okay, chat, we screwed. We don't have a video for tomorrow. And that's a big problem. Oh, soft deprecate sleep and a wake up? What do you mean? What would you use instead? Oh, of course. We deprecate sleep, but you use serialize and unserialize instead. That makes sense. Laravel Boost is the GOAT. I agree with you. Well, there is some JavaScript frameworks who are implementing that, so. Good, I think the following. As a React dev, how does one write a server render interactive UI with Laravel? You use Inertia.js, React in Laravel. We have a starter kit for that. Just search on Google Laravel React starter kit and you will get that. Agent is saying the following. If you could have Laravel in another language, what would that would be? Probably Go or Rust. W pushback. Oh yeah, baby. Maxi Viper is saying the following. Besides the current RFCs that are up, would you want implemented in PHP that it's not an RFC yet? Well, of course. Like, I would love to have DD on the core. I would love to have multi-line short closures on the core. I think those two would be such a simple pull requests and people would love them. Wow, Kusiko more 50 gifted memberships. You are on fire, dude. You don't have to donate that as much. That's a lot of money, okay? Keep that money for you, okay? That's important. I appreciate the first gift in the first donation. But more 50 memberships, that's crazy, dude. It's 100 memberships in the same stream. You don't have to do that. So that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, dude. W Kusiko, I know. He's awesome, but that's a lot of money at the same time. So keep that money for you, okay? Thank you so much. I don't know if you guys realize, but like 50, it's like $5 each one, which makes like $250 just for one donation. That's a lot of money, okay? I appreciate the first one, but the second one is too much. Save the money for you. You might need it in the future. Thomas is saying the following. What PHP stand level are you currently running? I'm running PHP stand level 5 on web apps, and I'm running level 10 on packages. Everything for Mo videos. Thank you so much, dude. I would really appreciate if you guys could give me ideas for videos, man. I need to record something today. So it could be really something, I don't know, something recent ideally, you know what I mean? Good is saying the following. All your views you write just for full inertia then? Yeah, correct. I use inertia for everything at the minute. Pretty much inertia for everything and, you know, with React. Even though I like Livewire, I've been using inertia for everything. All right, I may have to go Twitter. Will we go full Vite Plus by default on Laravel starter kits? I think we should. You know, I don't even know if the Laravel starter kits right now are on Vite Plus. I use Vite Plus on all my projects. There is no reason why wouldn't you not use Vite Plus. Have you ever tried Hack? I have not. That actually could be a good video. I'm gonna actually note that. It's not a video for maybe today, but it could actually be a good video. Try Hack Lang. Assuming you're talking about Hack Lang, right? This should be official in Laravel. You know, Vite Plus is kind of new, so we need to be careful every single time we add something to the starter kits, because it might not be compatible with every single environment. You know, it just takes a little bit until it becomes stable. There is something we could cover though, which is the new supply chain attack on Red Hat. But I would have to read about it to begin with. Yeah, everything Avenue touches turns into GS Gold. Yeah, Avenue is awesome. I love Avenue, and he's just so smart at the minute. Have you ever tried Perl? Yeah, I did back in the days. Actually, my very first love about programming was with Perl. That's why I love PHP, because PHP is actually super similar to Perl. Like the Perl syntax is super similar to PHP. And that's why I got into PHP itself. You know, with the dollar situation, you guys see this? With the dollar situation and with if conditions, like this is literally PHP almost. This syntax comes from PHP too. System, like this is literally a system function in PHP too. We have echo, which is, oh, we also have print, by the way. So this looks so much PHP. I'm gonna use the bathroom. I'll be back in a second, chat. Chat, we could do a video about Laravel actions. What do you guys think? It's been a while since the last time I talked about actions. It's kind of a topic that I do love. Actions. Do you guys want to see some actions today? We could do that. I could literally open my starter kit and just, you know. Less drama, more shipping for real, dude. All right, let's talk about actions today. So, actions, please. All right, it's decided. We are going to talk about actions. Okay, let me just open the project on PHP Storm. Do I have a Laravel app from my starter kit? Starter kit. I do, an inertia one on top of it. So, let me just see if I have some action situation here. Actually, I do have. Let me just do a git reset hard. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do a video about actions. That's something I kind of... It's been a while since the last time I talked about actions. So, how is your mouth, bro? Much better right now. So, just good now, you know? Okay, let me see if this could be potentially a good example. Yeah, this could be a good example.
landed in Sorrento. Came a long way from smoking Nicks and rockin' Echo. Sprinted to the helicopter room, make sure it's penthouse. 30 floors up, can see the world from out this window. Nikki threw the ball about 30 yards and never intos. Juke slash tween, dropping buckets like a sicko. Hey, she got wet right off the intro. Wait until she hear the end goes. But for now, just put your hands on your ankles. Hold up, I'm in the south, getting high, smoking endo. Sipping Aperol and Prosecco. We don't got no itinerary, just go wherever the...
Laravel should have docs about the action pattern. The thing about the action pattern is like it's an implementation detail of a regular app. Like you can actually develop Laravel apps without using the action pattern. You can use event sourcing. You can use there is various ways you can implement your app. You know what I mean? And the action pattern is just one of them. Did you find an allergy in Japan? No, I did not. I'm feeling good. Simple actions I get, but I want to. But when it gets more complex with multiple inserts, for example, I don't know what to do. Yeah, we can talk about that. Okay, I think like this one is actually complex enough. Let me just set up a scenario here, okay? A setup that makes sense. Let me just open Cloud Code real quick. I kind of want to tweak things a little bit before we move forward. So this is under... What is this file is even? Noon project, starter kits, okay. Starter kits. Oh? Projects nunomaduro starter kits, okay. And then Laravel starter kit, inertia, React. And we can cloud code this stuff. Dangerous key permissions. All right, cool. I may actually also share Ghostly here. Maybe Pi from Composer? Nah. I don't think that project got a lot of adoption, honestly. Have you seen it? Like, have you seen anyone using it? I think like I know it was one of the projects from the PHP Foundation, but I have not seen a lot of adoption here about that project. Like I have not used it, so that's a red flag already. All right, we have Ghostly. So currently, user profile, the currently user edit and users update are under user profile controller and user profile inertia views. Can you move that to the user folder plus user controller? It's fun to see what extensions are out there. Yeah, it's true. Knight Oshi is saying the following, correct. That's why I said it's userland, but it should be considered as best practice. The thing is that there's a lot of people who think the action pattern is not a good practice, you know? It really depends of the project. It depends of what you're doing. I believe it works for many projects. I believe it works for many use cases, but there are cases where the action pattern should not even be used because it's just more simple to keep things on a controller level, you know? What? These people are crazy. Oh my god. All right, how is my cloud code situation? Oh, it's just doing a lot of crap at the minute. Just look at this bar right here, chat. Just so good. 22 cents. I've wasted $50 today. How beautiful my cloud code situation is. Okay, I'm literally mutual. So basically, I had this something that was giving me like PTSD is that I had like user controller and then user profile controller, and I have a really hard time like picturing this as a user profile controller if it's just mutating the user itself. For me, this should be just user controller. So what I've asked Cloud Code is that I want to move this edit and this update into this user controller. Okay, just to keep it stupidly simple. It does make anemic service pattern, which is good for small things. Most people go with actions. I don't think so. Let me actually make you a very honest question, okay? Why did you guys start using the action pattern? Or when did you guys start using the action pattern? It was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 10 years ago? Answer honestly, like, did you start using it because you saw some tweets of some people in Laravel and then you start using it? Most developers moved to GPT 5.5. I don't think so, dude. Okay, routes are currently user profile edit, user profile update. Yep, so you need to move them, please. Bruno is saying, I did it 2 years ago. I found it sound when I saw people talking about it. Chirking is saying, when you show us. I think it was 1 year ago. All right, cool. So some of you started like 2 years ago or 1 year ago. Agent started 5 years ago. So a question for you. What did you guys think of now about the action pattern? Do you think, all right, I have learned about it. I have seen people using it. Do you guys really love it right now? Because if you do, that's a very good sign, meaning that you have tried a technology or a pattern and then you actually tried it on real world and it was useful for you. That's very important. For me, by the way, I have started using the action pattern more consistently, maybe like 2 years ago when I started with Laravel Cloud. Laravel Cloud is fully on the action pattern, and it was one of the best decisions we have ever made. With complex use cases, it can get tricky. Well, maybe we can talk about that today. Agent is saying still awesome, easy to test. Yep. Easy to test, yep. Easy to change code, yep. I think like one of the things I liked the most was the fact that I can reuse actions between actions. Like, if you have an action who does a certain update and that update needs to send a certain email, you can literally just share that action across multiple actions, which I love it. Okay, do we have this working as expected or not? Let's see. It needs to update tests though. Oh, here we go. Rename the tests and blah, 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 blah. Nice. Running pint. Make sure tests are passing. NPM run build. Yeah, you can do it. All right, let's wait for this so then I can have like an example which makes sense for me. Agent just send me a link. What did you send me, Mr. Agent? PHP Judy implements sparse dynamic arrays, aka Judy arrays. What the fuck is this? Oh, it's an extension. It's a PHP extension. New Judy. And then I do this. This is very confusing, Adrian. For creating and accessing dynamic arrays. Okay. This is very confusing, Adrian. Your light mode burned my eyes, dude. I love white mode. Arrays in PHP are broken. Well, on that we do agree on. They are non-typed, which sucks balls, you know? It's not a real array. Oh yeah, just like std objects. Okay, we are almost ready for the example in the action pattern, okay? Oh, we have the update already. Let's just organize this a little bit. We're gonna have the edit and the update after the store right here. All right, cool. What do I need? I need a new screen flow. Bam. Okay, done. I would like to know how the action pattern is different from jobs with the queuable trait and implement should queue removed. So there are two different things. Laravel jobs are literally classes that are supposed to be queued. Okay, so they are for background processes. The action pattern is for sync behavior, meaning that it needs to be executed in a sync state, you know. I've seen some people also implementing the action pattern for fetching data, by the way, which in my opinion doesn't make sense, but I've seen it already. Like they want to encapsulate like complex queries, so they make this get articles, for example, which I've seen people doing it. Action pattern. All right, I'm gonna just improvise. Let's do it. Hello, TigMP, how you doing? If you remove the should queue, the thing is like there are two different concerns. Like, so the action pattern, for example, you can use jobs, for example, behind the scenes. So you would always do controllers actions and then actions can call jobs. You would never do controllers jobs directly. You know what I mean? For fetching complex data, I use query classes, yes. All right, let's start with the video chat, okay? Just turn off the music a little bit. All right, let's start with the story about the action pattern, I think. The action pattern is my favorite pattern ever. So on this video, we're going to talk about what it is the story behind it, and why do I love it so much. Okay, that's the intro. That was a good intro. What do you guys think? Bam. First of all, I want to tell you when I did first learn about the action pattern. It was literally 10 years ago, and Taylor Otwell called it this thing, the self-handling command bus. Bam. Number 2. Do I want to talk about self-handling command bus? What do you guys think? Should we talk about the self-handling command bus? Self-handling command bus. Yeah, maybe we talk about this. Maybe, perhaps. All right, I'm gonna try to make like a small segment about this, but I don't know. Let's see if it sticks. Now you may question, what is the self-handling command bus? Now you may question, what is a self-handling command bus? That's a very good question, by the way. That's a very good question. So back in the days, people used to talk about the command bus. The command bus is about to have two classes. One is the command, another one is the handler. Now, in the past, people used to use this thing called a command bus, which is having one command in multiple handlers, so multiple ways of handling the same command. Now, over time, especially for web applications, people start noticing that the command and the handler was always a one-to-one relation, meaning that you don't have multiple handlers. So people start like merging them together, calling this thing the self-handling command bus. But in Laravel, because we like to be different, we call this the action pattern. Was that a good explanation, chat? Type yes on the chat if you think this was a good explanation. I think it was, but you guys let me know. Type yes if you got what is a self-handling command bus. I'm going to do it again just in case, and then my brother will pick the best explanation, I think. Actually, the action pattern is a simplified version of the command bus pattern. Back in the days, people used to use the command bus pattern, which is literally having the command, which is the payload of data, and the handler, which is the way you handle the command. Now, in theory, with command bus, you can have multiple handlers, but in practice, you just kind of just have one. So this is where the action pattern have emerged. Basically, the action pattern is the command and the handler merged together in a simple class. Okay, I think this one was a better explanation, but I'm going to let my brother choose the best one. So this is the origin of the action pattern in definitely option 2. Okay. Appreciate the help. And pattern is saying the following, but also remember when Laravel renamed the command class to jobs. Right. The second explanation was better. Okay, well, let's keep the second explanation then. All right, I'm going to remove the explanation number 1 and just keep the second one. Thank you. All right, so now we know the action pattern. I think I'll say something like this. Even though people talk about the action pattern since 10 years ago, in the recent years, literally like 2 years ago, it got really popular on the Laravel world, and on this video we are going to see how. On this video we are going to see why. Okay, much better. Bro, how you doing, dude? Nice to see you, man. Okay. All right, let's skip all the bullshit and go straight to the point. What exactly means having the action pattern in your code? Well, means a couple things. Means that your controllers look exactly like this one. So every time you want to update something, let's say a user, you are going to have this beautiful update user request. So this is basically a form request where you validate the given payload, which is entering through a request. And then you also have as a second argument or third argument, depending if you are using model round binding or not, this thing called the update user action. Now, an action is basically a class which is responsible to effectively mutating your system and updating the user on the system, okay? Now, it's important that every single time you call that action, which will update the user, you pass the associated resource and you pass the associated validated information without any HTTP concern. This is super important that you don't pass straight the request to the action itself, because the action may actually be used outside of the HTTP layer on things like the console layer or the jobs layer. Bam. Good stuff. Good stuff. Was that clear, chat? Let me know what you think about this. I think it was clear, but you guys let me know. Chat, by the way, perfecto, thank you. Is any of you on Kick? So Quick is this streaming platform that I'm trying to use more and more. However, there is literally nobody on Kick. So if you guys are there, just give me a follow over there. I would really appreciate that. Okay? Perfecto. All right. So we using that explanation. I'm going to make another one. Well, that was good, I think. Yeah, that was good. So we validate the form request, and yep. Do I want to talk about this? I think I do. Yes. Now, my friends, in terms of the form request itself, it's super important that you are as much strict as possible, okay? So every single time you validate any entry, you go all the way through. For example, the email needs to be required, needs to be a string, needs to be lowercase, needs to be an email, exactly an email, needs to have a maximum of 255 characters and does not exist on the system. It's really important that you validate every single thing on the form request itself, because the action will receive the payload, the command, with the validated information already, and you will assume that within the action itself. You don't need to validate it again. Done. Is Kick a Twitch? Exactly. So here's the thing. You guys are saying a very good question, which is why Kick? So over time, I actually think Kick will have a bigger adoption than Twitch. Okay? So there is a big problem with Twitch at the minute, which is the shared revenue approach. Okay? So Twitch doesn't pay for watch time. It doesn't pay for, it had like a 50% commission over donations, where Kick is like they only get 5%, not 50. They only get 5% of donations. Plus, they pay you for watch time. Like there is people making 10K a month by streaming 8 hours on Quick every single day, you know? So the business model is just much better for content creators. So, you know, the only problem about Kick right now is that there is some controversy on Kick at the minute, just because there is some, kind of bad content over there, including gambling and shit like that. I think we have that on Twitch as well, but on Kick is a little bit more hardcore. Let's put it that way. Okay. Oh, Kick is not for streamers who got banned on Twitch. Gambling is not allowed anymore. What do you mean exactly where? On Twitch or Kick? I'm pretty sure I see gambling on Twitch every single time. Oh no. Chat, we may have to record everything again. I think I was recording the wrong screen. Oh my fucking god. Oh, so bad. Anyways. Oh my god. Okay, I may have a solution for this. So here I'm going to do a screenshot. Well, I don't have a solution for the code itself, but here I'm going to do a screenshot. Bam. Okay, from this point that we have to do everything again. So let's go again, chat. Just use the VOD. That's a good point. Let's actually just use the VOD. Can I use the VOD? Yeah, I think I can use the VOD. I think I can do this again. It's just 1 minute, chat. Let's just do it again. It's better for editing, chat. That's it. It's just more quality if I use the ScreenFlow recording directly, okay? I'm gonna close this. Like, what the fuck? Oh, here we go. Okay. All right, let's skip the bullshit and go straight to the point. What exactly means using the action pattern in your Laravel project? Well, it means the following. On every single controller, you would apply this exact structure, which is having a form request, which is responsible to validate the request layer. Okay, the form request validates the... All right, let's skip the bullshit and go straight to the point. What exactly means using the action pattern in your Laravel projects? It means the following. On every single request method, you have a form request, which is responsible to validate the request layer. Then, as a second or third argument, depending if you are using model round binding or not, you would have the action itself. The action is a simple class which takes the validated payload to perform an action in your system. It could be mutate the user, it could be update something, whatever happens inside of that class itself. Okay. That was good. And now I have the perfect recording. Nice. Now, super important, okay? Insanely important. When you are calling the action, you never send any HTTP concern on it, meaning the following. You are updating a user, therefore, you are sending the user resource as an argument as well to the action. This is actually super important that you don't send any HTTP concern like the form request itself, but instead you send an array of data because you might want to reuse this action on other layers like the console layer, the jobs layer that don't have any HTTP concern. Bam. Done. Then we go to the form request. Now, about the form request. This is super important. Now, about the form request, you need to make sure you validate the data all the way through. Remember, the action itself won't validate any data. It will assume that the data has already been validated. As such, it's important that you just validate the entire thing. The email needs to be required, needs to be a string, needs to be lowercase, needs to be an actual email, needs to have a maximum of 250, and needs to be unique on the system. This is the place where you validate the data, not within the action itself. Done. See, chat, that was easy. It was easy, that was fast, we good. Okay, let's go back. Now, mentioning the obvious, but of course, to the action itself, you send the validated information, okay? So you always make sure you call validated to only get validated information. And also, don't worry, if the information is not valid, it won't even arrive to this point because Laravel automatically bails the request off if this request is not valid. Done. Chat, if you have any questions or topics you think need to be covered here, let me know, okay? What are you doing? What are you doing, Diabel? What are you doing? Oh, great question. Great question. What is that thing? That's a very good question. What is that thing over here? We can cover this on a video. That's a good point. Now, I know exactly what you're thinking right now. What is this attribute current user? This is actually a very sexy attribute, my friends, which does the following. It just injects automatically the user that is logged in on the system, meaning that here I'm getting the user that is logged in on this web application automatically, which is, in my opinion, pretty cool. You don't have to do this kind of bullshit, which is doing user request user thing, which is really annoying. So you can just literally get the user automatically through the arguments of this controller, which is, in my opinion, a very sexy thing. Damn. Attributes are beautiful. That's something I want to... Oh, that's another thing I have changed my mind on. Like in the past, I used to say that attributes, they would be ugly, but now I think they are beautiful. I kind of like attributes. Why this is like highlighting? I don't know why. Just because speech we start being annoying. Current user is also good on from request classes. That's true. Okay, so we talked about this. Let's go into the request itself. Yeah. Okay, one question you may have. Now, let's go straight to the meat, talking about what exactly an action contains inside. That's a very good topic. Let's approach that thing. So, within the action, you are going to actually perform business logic, okay? So, what it means updating a user? Well, in your business logic, updating a user means going to the database and effectively mutate the DB rows. But it also means another thing, which is notifying the user that his email may have been changed while updating this user. So this is what we like to call business logic. Now, there is actually a bug on this action code. There is actually something that can happen on this action code, which is a bug. Can you spot it? Bam. Can you guys spot the bug, by the way? What are we missing here, chat? What are we missing here? We are missing here a very important thing, okay? A very, very important thing. We are missing here something. Can you guys spot it? What if failed? What exactly could fail here? We are missing here a transaction, boys. That's exactly what we are missing. Because if we fail to actually perform this task right here, this thing will still be committed. That's exactly what we are missing, okay? So let's do this. Bam, bam. Okay. Can I import this? It's kind of complaining. What the fuck is happening with my PHP Storm? Like, honestly. Anyways. And exactly, you got it right. What we are missing here is a DB transaction. Now, why a DB transaction is important when talking about the action pattern? Because when you mutate your system, you want to make sure you went all the way through, that we have mutated all the parts in our system. So if you are doing multiple updates, if you are equally sending an email, or if you are doing something else in the process, you want to make sure that if any of these pieces fail, you just roll back the entire thing, okay? So every single time you are performing multiple database actions, or you need to reach an external API potentially, for example, you want to make sure that if any of these processes went bad, you want to roll back the entire process. You are just like you were in the beginning, okay? So here, for example, if we fail to send an email to the user with... So here, for example, if we fail sending the email to the user, we don't want to mark this update as done. We want to roll back this to the previous state and notify the user that something went bad with the update so he can retry and effectively receive the email on his inbox. Chat, the email is not actually the best example ever, but I think we are going to use it. What if we don't need to send an email in other layer, creating a user via job or a command? Well, in that case, you don't need a transaction. Yeah, the email could be queued, but like queuing the email could fail as well. You know what I mean? So if failing the queuing could fail, well, we could actually give another example. Okay, let's actually give another example. Okay. Let me see what I have here. Yeah, let's actually just do another example. Do I want to give another example? I kind of like this example though. Let me see. Yeah, this example is good, chat, honestly. Okay. So we talked about multiple. Yeah, I think like something we kind of want to talk about is multiple transaction action, like multiple actions for sure. Okay. So here, let's actually have another action, which is. Do you guys have an idea of an action that would make sense here? Like update user could potentially update. What kind of things we want to do here? Like imagine updating a user. What kind of things you would also do? Things that ideally would involve like DB operations. Okay. Attach user permissions. Yeah, we could do. Let me think. Ordering a product. Well, ideally, still within the user thing. You know what I mean? Not talking about products. Notify the team leader. That's a good point. I have an idea. What do you guys think about like? No. I have an idea. What do you guys think about post team update or whatever? Something that would potentially post a notification to the timeline. You know what I mean? Or create activity. Yeah. Create activity. So this will be create activity. Will be a class. This create activity, and here we could do something like activity type user updated or whatever. Yeah, let's do this. Yeah, this works. Buy a pizza? Well, you update the user, you buy a pizza in the process? Come on. Now, very important, and this is like the most sexist thing about the action pattern, okay? Keep this in mind. You can literally reuse actions within actions themselves. For example, one of the things I have on this platform is this timeline of activity. So basically, a team leader can see the activity happening on his team, and that process is actually encapsulated within an action. So create an activity is encapsulated within an action. Now, obviously, I can create an activity like a regular post, but the fact that I have updated my own profile is also a post by itself, meaning that within the DB transaction, I can reuse an existing action, which is create activity, to create a new post. Okay, and this because is within the transaction. If for any reason something goes wrong within this action right here, the whole process will be revert, which is super sexy and super important. Okay, we have this one. I'm gonna do one more to see if it just got better. Okay, bad idea. Wait, what? Wait, what? Profile picture upload. That's actually a complicated case because if you revert, the picture will still exist. I don't know. I think I want to avoid that one. How was the concerns about multiple nesting of transactions? None. There is no concerns. It just works. We just don't nasty examples, exactly. Now, my friends, one of the most sexy things about the action pattern is the fact that you can reuse actions. This is like the most sexiest thing in the planet, okay? Now, why this is important? Imagine that you have a timeline of activities, okay? Your platform has a timeline of activities. You can create your own activities by just saying, I'm gonna eat some pizza tonight, but also the fact that you updated your profile will automatically create an activity, just like LinkedIn, okay? Now, what you can do here is that you can go to the update user action and say, I want this update user action to also create an activity every time I update a user. So you inject that through dependency injection. Laravel will automatically inject that thing for us. And then you go all the way down, and within the DB transaction, you just call the create activity with the user updated. And if something goes wrong here, the transaction will be reverted, okay? You can use nested transactions. Laravel handles that perfectly, and it really just works. I love this stuff. Bam. What do you guys think? This explanation went a little bit better, I think. Okay, so we have nested transactions. We talked about nested actions. What else we wanted to talk about? We can talk about DTOs, which is something that people have been talking about. Yeah, let's talk about DTOs. Let's talk about DTOs, exactly. This is an array. Why my auto completion is like totally failed? Do I have internet chat? Like, is this working even the stream right now? I'm doing something wrong. It's like this array shapes, right? The fuck? Huh? Oh, it's working. Never mind. Yeah, all good. Okay. Okay, let's talk about this. A lot of people make me a question like, why this and why not like regular DTOs? Okay, one question you may have is, why are we using an array here instead of a regular DTO? If you don't know, DTO is just... All right, one question you may have is, why are we using an array here instead of a DTO, which is just a regular class that encapsulates state? That's a very good question. I have not decided yet if I want to use a DTO all the time or if using an array for simple stuff is enough. I'm going to explain you why. So on PHP, we have this thing called array shapes, which is totally supported by PHP Stan. And what it does is that you can literally define the required shape of the given array. So if type safety is a thing in your project, it can analyze the given attributes to this action and make sure these given keys exist and exist with a given type. However, some people defend that it's just better to use DTOs here. And it's legit. Honestly, using DTOs is equally good. However, what I've detected over time is actually having a DTO for every single action attribute. It can be a little bit too much in terms of extra files in your project. But I want to hear from you. Write in the comments below, what do you think? All right, done. What are you working on today? Today we're talking about the action pattern. That's exactly what we're working on. W perfecto, yes, yes, yes. Chat, by the way, if any of you is not subscribed to my channel yet, just fix that, all right? Go to my YouTube channel and subscribe my channel. All right, we have a question from Twitch. Marcus is in the following. Hi, Nuno. I have a question about in regard of work contract scope. How in Portugal can you work as a freelancer with exclusive contract in your working company? I have quite a few people that want to build some web development. So what you can do, I don't know what you're asking there, but what you can do, you can set up a company in Portugal and you can contract for companies outside Portugal. That's a TLDR, basically, okay? You can do this, or you can use what some companies like to call... there is basically companies in Portugal where they can do this proxy thing. So you work for these companies in Portugal, but in fact you are working for these companies outside. Okay, you can also do that. Hey, Diabel, thank you so much for subscribing tier 1, dude. I really appreciate it. 17 months already. You are awesome. Okay. Sounds like their day job has exclusivity clause in their thing. I don't think that's even... I don't think you can actually enforce that, basically. In order to have you working for someone with a regular contract in Portugal, that company needs to be in Portugal, okay? That's a thing in Europe in general, okay? So if you want to work for a French company, the French company needs to be in France, like needs to have an office in France, needs to be a company in France, period. Otherwise, if you don't do this, you need to set up your own company and then freelance for the outside, okay? That was a good explanation, thank you. Chat, what are we missing in terms of content here about the action pattern? So we talked about this stuff. I think I can mention once again that the HTTP stuff, okay? Let's actually talk about that. Again, super important. Is actually important that you don't use anything like this, like auth or potentially something that is HTTP layer only. And why is that? Because again, if you use the action pattern outside of the HTTP layer, you want to make sure it still works, okay? You want to make sure that you can reuse this stuff outside of the HTTP layer, and to ensure that you cannot use like the HTTP facade or anything like that. Otherwise, this gets coupled. I can do this way better. 1 second. All right, let's go again. Again, super important that within this action, you don't use anything that is HTTP only. It's kind of cool that you can reuse these actions within other layers, like the console layer or the jobs layer. And for that, you cannot have any HTTP related code within the body of the action. So if you eventually need to use the HTTP layer, just do it outside of the action on the controller itself. I actually have an example of this. Which is my login controller. So if I go to the user controller and I have this... Oh, this is a good example. Yep, this is a good example, actually. And I actually have a very good example for you. Let's assume, for example, that the user wants to destroy his account on your platform. Now, destroying an account involves potentially multiple operations, which you can handle within the action itself. Deleting the user history, deleting the user from the DB, all of that you can do from the action itself. Even sending an email to the user that his account got deleted. However, you also want to log out the user from your system. Log out the user, invalidate the session, and all that stuff. Because that stuff is HTTP only, is an HTTP concern, you have to do it at controller level. I think that was good, chat. So this comes here. All right, so we talked about that. We talked about I think I can talk about where do I place my actions. Now, very important question, and to finalize the video, where do you place those actions? I'm going to tell you something that a lot of people won't agree on. People think about subfolders, they think about the different modular kind of crap. I'm going to be honest, I just place all my actions within my actions folder. They stay there like a flat folder which just has create, and then update, and then delete. I have projects with more than 100 files right here, and it's no problem at all. Done. And that's it about the action pattern. We can go way deeper than this stuff. Let me know if you want to see that on the comments below. Also, let me know what you think about the action pattern. I want to see your opinion on the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to click on the like button. Okay, super important. But you also subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate. Love you all and see you guys next time. Peace out. Boom. All right, done. So that's the action pattern. What do you think as a video? It was a good video. I think we have good content here. Action. Save it. Ooh, we can talk about queries. Yep, that's a good point. Yeah, let's actually talk about queries and shit like that. That's actually a very good question. Let's go here to... do we have an example with that? I think I do. Maybe edit? No, I don't know. Okay, I'm going to create my own example. I'm going to go here and do some sort of public function index response, and then I'm going to have here return index render user index with like all the users from the database or whatever. Now, it doesn't make any fucking sense, but I think you got the point. Do I want to make like a quick product example? Yeah, I'm going to do a quick product example. Product, and then I'm going to paginate them. Okay. So this would be products index, and this would be products. How do I close this crap? Only works the second try. Okay. Now, one question you may have is, we have seen the action pattern being used for things like creating a user, updating a user, or destroying a user. However, how about if you want to have some queries, for example? Do you create a get all products action? Now, you may have a question here, which is, well, for updating, for creating, or deleting something, you can use actions indeed. But how about things like doing a query? If you need to fetch a given product from the database, do you use an action? If you need to fetch all of them, do you also use an action? Well, I have seen multiple approaches out there. I have seen people who have this list products action, which is something that aggregates a query. But I also have seen people who have created the queries folder where it does have things like list products or potentially get product. I've seen kind of everything. I've also seen people who just have this inline query directly on the controller. Let me know what you do on the comments below. Bam. So to answer your question, chat, I have seen kind of everything already, and I don't have an answer for it. Agent is saying the following: how about someone who is in Austria and would work for a US company like Laravel, asking for a friend? Yeah, so you set up a company, and then I don't even know, dude. Like, honestly, there's so many options right now. Again, you can either be a freelancer and work for US, or you can have these remote companies who basically are on your own country. You work for them, but technically you are working for Laravel. So they just do the mediation in the middle, Ronato is saying the following: dude, I use the action pattern in service aggregators. In large projects, actions need to be well documented. Otherwise, things start to get messy. I have big projects, and I don't think they get messy at all. No actions for GET requests. I also don't use actions for GET requests either, so I don't think it's a good idea. All right, so this is done. Actions is done. Are we doing any more videos today? It's like 9 p.m. already. Technically, we could do another video, but if we do another video, I may end late today. Yeah, I also think jobs are like actions and jobs are for mutation only. That's also my opinion, honestly. I would do the gets right here, just because also like some of these queries, they are literally related to the view they are being presented. You know what I mean? Like this query layer typically is like super niche. You know what I mean? Like the way you display products on the homepage it might be different from the way you display products on the search, for example. How do you handle events? I don't handle events. I don't use event listeners at all. I think they're a bad idea, and they don't scale. It's just bad for your system. Hey, Diabella, really appreciate 17 months. And by the way, top donator today, I forgot his name. Kodiko, I think that was it, right? Here we go. Kukiko. I appreciate your 100 memberships, which is insane, dude. I like events and jobs. Oh my god, jobs are okay, but events and observers, they sucks balls. Hardcore, okay? No good. All right, Shed, we have one video already for tomorrow. That's good. But then I need a video for Wednesday. We may stream tomorrow again. What do you guys think? Should we stream tomorrow, Shed? Yeah, let's stream tomorrow. And tomorrow I will come up with something already in advance, so we don't need to think about it. Okay? Stream tomorrow, chat. What do you guys think? Good idea? Chat, before you guys leave, don't forget, go all the way down and subscribe to the channel, okay? Insanely important. A couple people on Twitch. You guys are awesome. All right, let's rate someone. PHP Arch. Let's rate PHP Arch. We have some PHP people doing stuff. Can you please elaborate why events are messy? Well, I can probably do it on a video. What do you guys think? Should we record something real quick about that? Yeah, let's do something. Now, there is a reason why I do love the action pattern. It's because I have developed projects in the past using something like events and observers and this event listener pattern, which is, in my opinion, in theory, on the books, it looks okay. But once you start implementing, it just becomes really messy. So you don't know where events are coming from. You don't know what you're reacting to. I can make this better. 1 second. Now, very important, very important. Why would you choose the action pattern instead of something like events and observers? I'm going to be honest with you. I have developed apps in these two different ways. And in my opinion, the action pattern is way more explicit. Way more explicit. You know exactly what's happening. You can see if you want to update the user, you can just go to the action itself. You know exactly what's happening. And with events, you are just firing stuff. You don't know what's reacting. Over time, it just gets messy because you want to update the user using a migration, for example, and suddenly you are sending emails to everyone. It just becomes a messy to understand what's happening and when it's happening. Okay, this is my opinion about the events in general. Okay. Have a good one. See you tomorrow. Thanks. See you tomorrow too, man. All right, Shad, let's rate PHP Article. PHP Arch, which is a YouTube, Twitch channel, okay? Okay. So, Shad, we'll probably be back tomorrow just because I have one more video to record for the week. So we'll be tomorrow here again. Meanwhile, I will come up with something so we have a topic instantly and we can do some recording, okay? Shad, love you all. Catch you guys tomorrow. Peace out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, okay? Insanely important.